From the night of his birth, Naruto Uzumaki's life was destined for plenty of hard bumps along his road to becoming the Hokage. Before his mother could even put a diaper on him, Naruto lost both of his parents during the kyuubi attack, with his mother's fate being sealed once the kyuubi was ripped from her body, and his father's life being over once the 4th Hokage decided to use the Reaper Death Seal. As we all know, Naruto grew up being hated by the villagers because it was also known that the very same tailed beast that nearly destroyed their village was now sealed away inside of Naruto. In fact, some of the villagers, keyword some of the villagers, believed that Naruto himself was the actual kyuubi. This fear and prejudice led to the younger generation of Konoha turning their backs on a very young Naruto because they could sense the intense hatred and disgust that the adults held towards Naruto. However, have you ever stopped and wondered just how did the villagers find out that Naruto was the jinchuuriki of the kyuubi, and how did they find out so early before Naruto even enrolled in the academy? Well, in today's History of Naruto video, we're not only going to explain how the villagers found out the truth about Naruto being the kyuubi's jinchuuriki, but also how Danzo used this information, among other things, to directly ruin Naruto's childhood before Naruto could even enroll in the academy. The sad truth is that the childhood that Naruto experienced didn't have to be the one that we all saw him suffer through. If given time, the 3rd Hokage could have done exactly what Minato and Kushina wanted for Naruto, which was to present him in the light to the villagers, where they would view him as being a hero for taking on the burden of being a jinchuuriki of the Biju that nearly destroyed their village. We learned this information in the second Itachi novel, which is called Midnight, which I'll also leave links down in the description box for anyone who wants to read the novel and do so in a way that supports the channel. It's in this novel that we learned that Danzo waited for years before using Naruto as a pawn piece to be used in his game of chess against the 3rd Hokage. Danzo sought the position of Hokage by any means necessary, and he viewed Naruto as being a piece that would potentially remove Hiruzen Sarutobi from power. Now, if you'll recall, in the Naruto manga, it was implicitly stated that the 3rd Hokage forbade anyone from speaking the truth about who Naruto's father was and about Naruto being the host of the kyuubi. However, Danzo ignored Hiruzen Sarutobi's orders, and he sought to turn the villagers against the 3rd Hokage by ignoring this command. In the scene in the novel where Itachi speaks with a trusted member of Danzo's root organization, we learn that Danzo is the one who leaked it out to the various villagers that Naruto was responsible for the 4th Hokage's death, which caused many of the villagers to hate Naruto by default almost at once. In typical Danzo fashion, he left out the fact that Minato chose to make his own son the jinchuuriki of the beast that attacked their village, and he used the jutsu that will ultimately take his life, but he did so because he believed that his son would one day become powerful enough to protect Konoha by using the very same power of the chakra beast that attacked the Hidden Leaf village many years before. I want you guys to think about this. I really want you to think about this. Many shinobi and villagers died on the night that the kyuubi attacked the village, so the fact that Naruto was an orphan wouldn't have been out of the ordinary. Many children, like Aruka, lost their parents on that night, so Naruto is just one of many orphans who were created by the kyuubi attack. That, in my opinion, is part of what makes Danzo so in the wrong for what he did here, even though Danzo thought he was doing the right thing, especially given the fact that for a few years, Naruto was actually able to slip under the radar without anyone knowing the truth about him. What makes this even more heartbreaking is the fact that Naruto was too young to remember a time where he didn't feel isolated or he didn't feel hated by the villagers, because Danzo leaked this information years before Naruto joined the academy. For more context on the scene I'm about to read to you guys, this takes place just after Itachi has a very heated conversation with Danzo about Shisui's death and about the fate of the Uchiha clan. The member of the root organization who Itachi is speaking with was a member of the Aburame clan who ironically used to be Itachi's teammate. Suguru, the root ninja who Itachi's speaking to, flat out tells Itachi that despite his advanced skill, as Itachi currently is, he isn't strong enough to kill Danzo in a fight, which wasn't a possibility that Itachi had ruled out at this point in the story. He warns Itachi that if he was to succeed in killing Danzo, that there would be major ramifications that even a genius like Itachi couldn't foresee, which makes a lot of sense since Danzo is the type of guy who has backup plans for his backup plans. It's in this moment here that Suguru breaks down how Danzo ruined Naruto's childhood and why he did so. So what I'll do for you guys now is read the passage from the novel and then come back to you guys with my analysis. And it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Itachi, do you know a young child named Naruto Uzumaki? Do you mean the jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails? Itachi asked. Though he's imperfect, he is the son of the fourth Hokage. Don't you think it's strange that because the Nine Tails is housed inside of that body, that everyone in the village treats him so cruelly? You mean it was Danzo? Itachi asked. Yes, human beings are cowardly creatures who obtain their emotional stability by any means necessary. They won't hesitate to slander or not sympathize with people who are unlike themselves. Foolish people. No, foolish people are all human beings, Itachi said. Itachi, I know. Someone like you, born under a warrior rule, is different. You best not think everyone is as strong as you. Some are meant to be weak. Like that boy, for instance. Lord Danzo did one thing. He made it simply known that the Nine Tails that plunged the village into terror was housed in the body of that child. The people of the village then made their own judgment. They decided on their own to discriminate against Naruto Uzumaki, this terrifying child. As their cause, they shifted responsibility to someone else, and now the people turn a cold shoulder towards Naruto. By looking down on that poor child, they maintain their emotional equilibrium. Lord Danzo believes your clan fills a similar role as Naruto. Sacrifice Naruto's life and reduce dissatisfaction in the village. Sacrifice the Uchiha clan and maintain public order. End quote. One thing that should really stand out is how cold and calculated Danzo is. He saw Naruto as being a tool to manipulate the villagers, potentially getting them to question why the third Hokage would allow the vessel of the kyuubi to live inside their village, and he sacrificed any happiness that Naruto might have had as a child. Also, the villagers could take their pain from the kyuubi attack and focus it on the Naruto by any means necessary. Essentially, Danzo created outrage and chaos so he could manipulate the villagers from the shadows, while also keeping Hiruzen from making Naruto being viewed as a hero like the fourth Hokage wanted. It would have been a lot easier to do if no one knew until Naruto was old enough to handle the burden of being the jinchuuriki and the son of the fourth Hokage, and after all these wounds had been healed over time. But for Danzo to do this while Naruto was still a toddler, while the villagers were still recovering from the trauma of the kyuubi attack, is as cold-blooded as it gets. He viewed the Uchiha clan in the exact same way, also spreading rumors that it was an Uchiha clan member in Konoha who led the kyuubi attack, all while pointing out that the Uchiha clan was the only clan that didn't have the most damage during the kyuubi attack, and that their members didn't help fight back against the kyuubi, which was largely due to Danzo and the elders forbidding Fugaku Uchiha from going out onto the battlefield like Fugaku intended, with the intention of taming the kyuubi with the Sharingan and planning to fight alongside the third Hokage as the kyuubi attacked the village. Just like how he withheld information about Naruto, that while he was the jinchuuriki, he was also the son of the fourth Hokage. Danzo also left out the information that Fugaku wasn't allowed to fight alongside the third Hokage, and that the Uchiha clan were forbidden from going anywhere near the kyuubi during the attack. To top it all off, he had already violated the law of the third Hokage to never speak the truth about Naruto until the third Hokage deemed it to be the right time. To be honest with you, the third Hokage does deserve some of the blame here because he likely saw through this and knew right away that it was Danzo, but likely couldn't prove it. The fact that Sarutobi allowed Danzo to do this to Naruto while also making the Uchiha clan a scapegoat and a clan to be feared isn't something that we can ignore, because essentially Hiruzen enabled Danzo. When you look at the two Itachi novels, we don't see Naruto get discriminated against until Itachi makes Genin. It was during this time that while Naruto grew up, the Uchiha clan shouldered the immediate outrage of the kyuubi attack, with the Uchiha, like Itachi and Izumi, being targeted at the academy for simply being Uchiha. Then, after a couple of years, once the villagers started to move past the kyuubi attack, Danzo points out that a toddler, Naruto, is the jinchuuriki of the kyuubi, and he reopens the wounds of the kyuubi attack, which would be reopened every single time that the villagers laid eyes on Naruto, because Naruto in their eyes was the nine-tailed fox. Think of it like this: the blame shifted from an entire clan filled with many hardened ninja to a small, innocent toddler who was at the age where he should have been seeking out nurturing and was starting to form his own sense of identity. Whereas Naruto needed someone to build him up, to help him celebrate the things he did well, Danzo ensured that Naruto would be crushed. There's no confirmation, but an argument can be made that Danzo sought to crush a young Naruto spirit as a way to one day later on easier control him, since low self-esteem mixed with everything Naruto went through would make it easier to manipulate Naruto into becoming the perfect weapon that Danzo viewed a jinchuuriki to be. However, as we all know, Naruto's spirit was strong enough to endure this, though by the events of chapter 1 of the manga, Naruto did come close to a breaking point until he heard Iruka's speech. It was a calculated move on Danzo's part, one that he felt was needed to be made, and for reasons that Danzo thought were in the best interest of Konoha, but it was also one that directly spit in the legacy of the 4th Hokage. So what did you guys think about this? Do you side with Danzo? Do you agree with why he did this? Or do you think that Danzo crossed the line? Let me know down in the comment section below, but as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day guys.